For those of you who were not here when I gave my little speech, I like to structure my classes in a very similar way from class to class. Meaning that for the first 30 minutes of this class, we're going to be doing a pretty rigorous warm-up to make sure that our bodies are warm enough for safety in this kind of cold room. So the reason I bring this up is I just ask that everybody is hydrated. There are drinking fountains right outside, and I will take 30 seconds right now if anyone wants to run out, grab a drink of water, and make sure you're hydrated, because we're not really going to stop for like 30 minutes. So just bear that in mind. You have been forewarned, but we're going to have fun with it. So once we find ourselves here on our mat, we're going to take a nice, comfortable seat on our blanket. I'd like you guys to fold your blanket in a way similar to mine here. And we are going to take a beautiful cross-legged seat on our blanket. We're going to tuck our feet in under our knees, make sure our sit bones are nice and grounded on the blanket. And we're going to focus on sitting tall. So we are going to begin our class today with a nice breathing exercise. So let's go ahead and start, shall we? So we are going to focus on sitting nice and tall to the roof of our head. Our palms are face down on our thighs, and we are breathing into and out of our nose. As we inhale through our nose, we're going to allow ourselves to sit a bit taller out through the top of our head. And as we exhale, we're going to allow our eyes to soften. We're going to allow our awareness to turn inward. On our next inhale, we're going to bring our awareness to our back. And as we inhale, we're going to focus on stacking one vertebrae over the other, over our tailbone, until eventually we stack our head perfectly on our side. And then as we exhale, we're going to allow our weight to sink into our hips. We're going to allow ourselves to sink down onto our blanket, sink down into this moment. On our next inhale, we're gently going to bring our right hand over our belly button. And as we inhale, we're going to focus on breathing deep down into our stomach until our abs relax and our stomach expands. We're breathing a lot fuller than we normally do. And as we exhale, we focus on contracting our abs, squeezing all of the air energetically out of us to the point where we feel like we can touch our spine through our stomach. And then as we inhale, we release our abs and breathe deep down into our core, deep down into the center of who we are. And as we exhale, we focus on exhaling completely, feeling our hand come contact with our spine, not literally, shifting across. On our next inhale, we're going to again breathe deep down to the belly, sitting tall out through our head. We're allowing ourselves to breathe deeply out. And as we exhale, we focus on exhaling completely, getting that bad air, that bad energy out of our bodies. On our next inhale, we're going to inhale deep down into our belly. We're then going to inhale so that our ribs expand. We're then going to breathe in just a bit deeper until we feel our chest rising towards the heavens. Then, as we exhale, we let our chest collapse first, followed by our ribs, and then finally our belly contracts again. Next inhale, we breathe down into that belly, letting it fully expand. We breathe into our ribs, allowing it to move. We finally breathe into our chest, allowing ourselves to cinch a little bit taller. As we exhale, we release our chest, we release our ribs, finally release our arm, squeezing all of the air out. On our next inhale, we're going to bring our hands to heart center, pressing our thumbs energetically into our heart space, extending our other 8 fingers out towards the front of the room, adding energy to this pose. On our next inhale, we sit nice and tall at the top of our heads. And as we exhale, we bow our head in towards our heart center. While we're here, we remind ourselves who brought us to this. Perhaps next exhale, we release our hands back down to our thighs. As we inhale, we untuck our chin from our chest and open our eyes to the beautiful around us. So welcome you guys to Gentle Flow. My name is Devin, and I'm really looking forward to practicing with you guys today. In every class that I teach, I like to have a theme, and I'm actually really happy about today's theme. I think it's a fun one. Today, in our practice, we're going to focus on being as quiet as humanly possible. For those of you who've been in yoga classes before, I'm sure you've heard that's often associated with yoga, but today we're going to try and take that out of our practice. We're going to move with intention. We're going to move quietly. We're going to breathe quietly. And the reason that we do this is so that we can appreciate those beautiful quiet moments between all the noise. So that's kind of my challenge to you guys today. If you feel like tap dancing your way around your mat, it's your practice, please do it. But if you'd like to try taking your practice into perhaps a new area, we're going to focus on the movement silent. By doing this, we're going to be able to find our breath. We're going to build an immense amount of strength. And class is just going to be quiet, because it's going to be easier for all of us to kind of find that quiet space. So to begin our class today, and our silent practice, you're going to find another beautiful cross-legged seat on our mat. We are going to sit tall from the top of our head. We're going to place our fingertips energetically by our sides. Beautiful. Before we begin, make sure that you're able to do this without hitting anybody next to you or anybody's arms. Look at you guys. Awesome. So we are going to inhale. We're going to push energetically out through our fingertips. Sit tall through our head. We inhale our hands up towards the sky. Our gaze turns upwards. And as we exhale, we release our hands back down. Focusing on the purity of these movements. We inhale our hands back up, growing long in our side body. And as we exhale, we return our hands to the ground, return our weight back into those sit bones. Beautiful. We inhale our hands back up towards the sky, creating space, waking up our body. And we exhale our hands back down. One final time, most beautiful so far. We inhale our hands energetically up. We exhale back down to the side. Beautiful. We inhale our hands up halfway. And as we exhale, we twist over to the left. Keeping our arms up. And we inhale back to center. And exhale to the right. Focusing on moving gently, slowly, creating heat. We inhale to center. And we exhale to the opposite side. We inhale back to center, and we exhale to the final side. Just waking up our back right now. We inhale back to center, we extend our hands skyward, and we exhale forward over our front legs. Beautiful. We engage our fingertips into the mat, and we push ourselves back until we find our sit bones resting once again on our mat. On our mat. Beautiful, you guys. Pause here for a breath. On our next inhale, we rock forward onto our knees and we kick our feet out behind us, coming to a strong tabletop pose. Perhaps moving our blanket to the side if necessary, but we keep it close because we're going to be using it later. So we find ourselves once again in our strong tabletop pose. We come to tabletop pose in order to remind us of the importance of alignment in our yoga practice. And to create strong alignment, we must start with our foundation. So we bring our awareness first to our hands. We spread our hands energetically into the mat as wide as possible, creating space between our pinky and our thumb. We then make sure that our two pointer fingers are pointing straight ahead in two beautiful parallel lines. Then, using the mirrors if we like, we want to make sure that our wrists are stacked under our elbows, which are stacked under our shoulders. And our knees are stacked under our hips. Our toenails are engaged into the mat behind us. Beautiful. We now bring our awareness to our back. On our next inhale, we focus on creating a straight line from the top of our head out through our tailbone. This means that our gaze should fall about 3 to 6 inches in front of our fingertips. And we pause here for a breath. Feel the strength and the alignment of this pose. Beautiful work, you guys. From here, we're going to go into some nice cat-cow series. So from our strong tabletop, we're going to inhale, dropping our belly, rolling our shoulders back and down as we untuck our chin from our chest. And we breathe deep down into our belly. And as we exhale, we push into our fingertips, round our back, and come into that strong cat pose. Beautiful. We then inhale, dropping our belly, turning our gaze upward. We inhale fully. We then exhale, pushing through our fingertips. We curl into our back like a Halloween cat. Beautiful, you guys. We're now going to flow through this a few times on our own breath. Keep our eyes soft. And we feel the heat begin to build in our spine. As we inhale, we focus on breathing fully into our stomach, releasing our abs and allowing ourselves to stretch. And then as we exhale into cat, we focus on exhaling completely, wringing out our insides as we stretch. Beautiful work. On our next inhale, we're going to return to a nice, strong tabletop pose. Our gaze just a few inches in front of our fingertips. You guys, adjusting if necessary to build that strong foundation we've been talking about. We inhale here, and as we exhale, we turn our toes under and push up and back, coming into a strong downward facing dog. For many of us, this is our first down dog of the day, so let's keep our knees soft behind those hamstrings. Beautiful, guys. We once again bring our awareness to our hands. We spread our fingers energetically, creating space between our pinky and our thumb, and we push our first knuckles deep into the mat. I have a yoga teacher that I practice with, and whenever my knuckles pop up, she steps on my hands. And I haven't washed my feet in a few days, so let's make sure our knuckles are pushed firmly into the mat. Beautiful, you guys. From here, we're going to inhale, surf forward into a plank pose. We can come into a plank or a kneeling plank, wherever we're at today. But wherever we're at, we form a strong, straight line out through the top of our head and out through our feet. Beautiful. We inhale here, and as we exhale, we walk our hands backward towards our feet until we come into a nice forward fold. If we find that our fingertips aren't wanting to touch our mat today, we bend our knees until they find that place. Beautiful, guys. So we're going to try something new today. Something that I recently learned but really like. You guys probably won't, but it's going to be fun anyway. So we are going to inhale up, halfway lifting, bringing our fingertips to either our shins or our thighs, creating a strong flat back, like in tabletop. We inhale here, create space in our side body, and as we exhale, we hinge from our hips and fold. We inhale here, and as we exhale, we walk our hands back out into a plank pose. This time lowering down onto our forearms, interlacing our fingers if we like. We pause here in either plank or kneeling plank. Wherever we are, we inhale strong, and as we exhale, we pop back up and walk ourselves back into that forward fold. Great, guys. We inhale up, halfway lifting, coming to that nice flat back. We inhale deeply here. And as we exhale, we hinge from the hips, fold in. We inhale deeply here. And as we exhale, we once again walk our fingers out into a beautiful plank pose on our forearms. And we continue breathing. Beautiful work, you guys. We inhale deeply here. And as we exhale, we walk ourselves back up into a plank and back towards our feet. Oh, you guys are doing great. We inhale up, halfway lifting, coming to a flat back. We exhale, hinge from the hips, folding deeply. I'm only going to make you guys do this one more time, I promise. So we inhale here. And as we exhale, we set our fingertips down and walk ourselves back out into that beautiful plank on our forearms. We pause here to focus on our alignment. We focus on creating a straight line out through the top of our head and out our heels. Beautiful, you guys. Keep breathing. You're almost there. We inhale deeply here, deep down into our core. And as we exhale, we pop up and walk ourselves back into our forward fold. Isn't that like a lot more fun than push-ups? I think so. So from here, we're going to inhale up halfway, lifting, creating space in that side body. And as we exhale, we stick our booty back and hinge from the hips and fold deeply. Beautiful, you guys. From here, we're going to bend our knees quite a bit, set our fingertips behind the line of our heels. So back here. We're going to inhale here, grow strong in our legs. As we exhale, we're going to sit just a little bit deeper. And on our next inhale, we surf our bodies up, coming to a beautiful chair pose. And as we exhale, we sit a little deeper. Beautiful work, you guys. From here, we inhale up and around, coming to the top of the mountain pose. And we exhale our hands to heart center. Beautiful job, you guys. We inhale here, standing tall. And as we exhale, we release our hands to our side, coming into a strong mountain pose. So, again, to focus on the idea of alignment, we are going to build a beautifully strong mountain pose together. So to begin, we bring our awareness to our feet. We inhale our toes up off the ground, spreading them energetically. This is going to engage our legs, it's going to draw our kneecaps up in towards our hips. But most importantly, it's going to let us find all four corners of our feet. The two at the front and the two at the back. So with our toes lifted, we wiggle around until we find all four corners of our feet. And once we do, we exhale our toes back to the ground. Beautiful, you guys. On our next inhale, we're going to draw our knees up in towards our hips, engaging our legs, creating a strong trunk. Beautiful. We also want to tuck our tailbone down. This is going to tone our low belly, create a nice strong core. Beautiful, guys. Keeping this engagement, we're going to inhale our shoulders up towards our ears. And as we exhale, we're going to roll them down and back, plugging them into our back pockets, sending energy out our fingertips. And on our next inhale, we stand tall through our head. And we are in beautifully strong mountain poses, you guys. On our next inhale, we turn our gaze skyward, surf our hands up. And as we exhale, we swan dive from our hips, sticking our booty back. We bend from the hips and fold. Beautiful work, you guys. From here, we're going to inhale up halfway, lifting. And exhale, fold. Bending our knees, we set our fingertips on the ground and we step or hop back into a beautiful down dog. Very nice, guys. From here, let's inhale forward into a plank pose. Sorry, up on our hands this time. Awesome. We inhale here. We lean forward just a couple inches onto our toes, trying to look over the edge of our mat. And as we exhale, we lower down through chaturanga, keeping our elbows glued to our sides. We hover an inch off the ground and release. Beautiful, you guys. We're now going to spend some time on cobra pose. One of my favorite. Sorry, stay down. I'm just trying to get a look at everybody. You are looking great, by the way. So we are going to work on our cobra pose. It's one of my favorite poses, but it's also one of the easiest poses to hurt yourself in. So we're going to spend some time learning how to do a proper cobra pose. So we begin by bringing our awareness to our feet. We want to plug our toenails energetically into the mat.